All right, guys, with that down, let's move on to this. You know, I have been loving Penguin. I expected Penguin to be good because the Batman was great. I loved Colin Farrell's manifestation of Oz in that. I knew the show would be good. I wasn't prepared for how good. Now, I said last week, it's time to just say it. This isn't just a great comic book show. This is a great show that I would put up there. I'm not saying it's as good as House of the Dragon. I'm not saying it's as good as Last of Us, but it belongs up in those conversations with the best shows out there in television.
Yeah.
Right? And after watching the episode last night, and by the way, the Batman
agrees.
The Batman agrees. The Batman just sent in like a $50 chat badge. Thank you, the Batman, for that. Appreciate that. This is, of all the shows currently airing, understanding that Shogun isn't airing right now and whatever, this is the best show on television right now. This is the best show airing out there right now. And last night, episode 4, and just to give you guys a heads up, a little bit of a warning, I am going to go into some details about last night's episode, okay? You've been warned. I'm letting you know right now. You want to put up our little spoiler thing here? If you want to wait, if you don't want to hear anything, any details about last night's episode, wait until this spoilers badge disappears. So you can mute your thing right now, mute your computer, mute your TV right now. Then when this goes off, then you can unmute your TV. By the way, the Batman just continues to keep sending in support. Loves the Penguin. Loves the Penguin. So last night, they did something where I love when shows are able to throw in a curveball that completely make us look at everything we've seen in the show so far from a completely different perspective.
Right.
Because I am one of the suckers. I'm sure some of you guys out there probably knew they might do something like this, but I didn't. I am one of the guys that have believed up until this point, Sophia was a killer, and that Penguin turned her in, and now she's out and just looking to get sweet, delicious payback. And then last night's episode that focused completely on Sophia completely changed my perception of the first 3 episodes. But here's the thing. Some television shows try to do that. They throw you a curveball that tries to make you look at but it doesn't make logical sense. Like it doesn't fit with it contradicts a lot of the stuff. This episode of Penguin, with focusing all on Sophia, totally changes the way I saw everything, and it was perfectly logical.
Yeah.
It made perfect sense because she has said in previous episodes, I'm not the hangman.
Right.
But you just think that's her way of saying that's not just who I am or whatever. Like, I'm not some total psycho. Yeah, maybe I killed some people. No. She never killed anybody. At least not when she was accused of killing people. And you know what? This episode reminds me of one of the greatest movies of all time, Shawshank Redemption. One of the single greatest cinematic achievements ever, period. If you've never seen Shawshank Redemption, it is top 5 greatest film ever made in history.
Yeah, here's pretty good.
Anyway, Andy Dufresne, Tim Robbins. There's a line in the movie when he basically says, you know, I'm an honest man. It took me coming to jail to become a criminal.
Right.
Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Mando. Guys, I've got to tell you about something that changed my whole body care game. Mando Whole Body Deodorant. Now, I first heard about Mando last year when they offered to become a sponsor of the show, and I was honestly skeptical. I mean, a deodorant can't really control odor for 72 hours, can it? But after using it myself, I am a believer. You can use it anywhere on your body, and I mean anywhere. It's clinically proven to keep you smelling fresh for up to 72 hours without any irritation. I'm loving the Clover Wood scent, but they've got options like bourbon leather, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, and even unscented if you prefer to go stealth mode. I like to use it after the shower, before the gym, or even important meetings. It's that reliable. And right now, Mando's got a killer deal. New customers get $5 off their best-selling starter pack with my exclusive code Campea. That's over 40% off. Just go to Shop Mando, that's ShopMando.com, and use the code Campea. Seriously, guys, if you want a deodorant that's aluminum-free, baking soda-free, and just works better than anything else you've tried, it's time to make the switch to Mando. So don't wait. Control body odor anywhere with Mando. Head over to shopmando.com and use the code Campea and get $5 off your starter pack. Trust me, you're going to love it. That's at shopmando.com. Go and check it out now. And Sophia Falcone was granted, she was Carmine Falcone's daughter. She was lined up to take over she was not an angel.
Sure.
But she was no killer. It took her going to jail to become a killer. And all of a sudden, I started looking at everything way different. And I tell you what else changed.
Justice for Magpie.
Justice for Magpie. I'll tell you what else changed. The way her brother was still there by her side in the first 3 episodes, I thought was beautiful. And her anger at whoever killed him, times that by 100 now. The fact that she was innocent and set up by her dad. By the way, if you can't get John Turturro to come back, getting yourself some Mark Strong to play Carmine Falcone was pretty good.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, okay, it's not Turturro, obviously. Who is this? And I finally keyed in And
Mark how
Strong.
often do we see Mark Strong with hair?
I know.
Not often.
Yeah.
So Mark Strong was a great fill-in for a slightly younger Carmine Falcone. I guess he was supposed to be 10 years younger.
Yeah.
So that all happens, and then you see what she went through in Arkham, that she was there for 10 years living in that.
Can you believe in that? I mean, obviously, yes, it's a madhouse, but can you believe that it's a nightmare?
It's a nightmare, which is really the way Arkham should be portrayed.
I think so far this Battinson verse of Arkham is one of my favorites. It reminds me so much of the video game of Batman Arkham and all of that. It's just such a dark, terrible place.
And it made me believe the transformation of this Sophia we saw, who is celebrating her dad's birthday, to the Sophia we see now, and what that did to her.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, she pulls a Godfather.
Well, I was thinking
settles family business at the end.
A Godfather. You mentioned Game of Thrones earlier. I feel like she pulled a Cersei
with the dragon fire.
Yeah.
Blowing up the whole place.
Yeah, I was waiting for that theme song, with that piano theme song to start playing, you know? By the way, Batman has now given us another 60 since, so I haven't called that out.
And here's the other thing this episode does, is that, and we've talked about this before, but it really puts an exclamation point on it.
Yeah.
One of the things I've loved about Penguin so far is that they have not tried to make Penguin some kind of anti-hero. They've not tried in this show to just paint Oz as being misunderstood. He's the protagonist of the show, but he's also the villain.
Yeah.
He is the bad guy. Whenever movies and TV shows try to focus on the villain, they try to paint them in a more sympathetic light, show them as just being really misunderstood, or, you know, they're not all that bad. They have never shied away. It's like, no, Oz is a dick. He's smart. He's a fascinating character, but he is what he is. He's the Penguin. And with this turn that they showed us with Sophia, it has really, like, I saw several people in our live chat going, I'm cheering for Sophia now. I think that's been the whole point.
Yeah.
Penguin is the villain of Penguin. And I love how they open the episode showing what the conversation that happened when they're on their knees and they're at the gunpoint and the truth is coming out. in front of Sophia who realized she's been played. But my biggest problem with Penguin, my biggest problem is that the episodes end. That's it. I am never madder in a given week right now than when the screen goes black and credits start to roll. I'm like, no!
Yeah.
I want more! Oh, God, man, this show's so good.
Really is. I mean, historically, Penguin has been one of the least favored of the Rogues Gallery for Batman. Joker has been obviously the top. And we are literally living in a week where more people are tuning in to see the Penguin than are going to see anything with the Joker in it. I think that's kind of telling.
I mean, that's true. You know where, for me at least, Joker or Penguin, because I think even historically, I'm just talking about myself as a reader and as a viewer. I've always looked at, even in Tim Burton's Batman 2, his Batman Returns, I've always looked at Penguin as a minor secondary character.
Sure.
Again, I'm not saying that's the way we should look at him. I'm just saying that's the way I go. I think my perception of Penguin started to change. There's a storyline in the comics called No Man's Land that I've talked about several times over the years. That was the one to me that really started making me look at Penguin a little differently. And then again, what they did with him in the Batman was so cool. And then what they're doing here is amazing. I just can't wait. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What did you think about last night's episode of Penguin? I thought it was amazing. This show is, I think, the best show currently airing on TV. It's getting better and better every single episode. I cannot wait to see what happens next. Anyway, whatever you guys think, you can take the spoilers thing down now.
Yeah.
Jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.